This is the Brandon D. Campbell podcast, where business and mindfulness meet to build a better leader in you. Here's your host, entrepreneur, mentor, and author, Brandon D. Campbell.
You will not believe what just came in the mail today, and I'm going to show you. I got my own author's copy of Oh Brother, my debut children's book. When it came in the mail, I was so ecstatic. I screamed so loud that the neighbor's dog started barking. My own dog, Oxy, started to bark as well, too. I just couldn't believe it. I'm so excited about, receiving this. And I just thought about this has been a labor of love. As they say, enjoy the journey. And I'm going to tell you right now, I am enjoying this journey. I still cannot believe that I'm holding this in my hands right now. I think about the inception of the idea to create a story that would be impactful, that kids who had similar experiences that I had growing up, living in a blended family household, raised by a single mother, I wanted to provide something, an outlet that would allow them to see themselves, but also help them to understand that you're unique, but you're not as unique as you may think, because there are others who are sharing the same similar experiences that you're having. But also wanted to create something that would allow for them to heal, allow for them to help conversation with their parents and help them with bonding with their parents, whether their dad lives in one house and their mom lives in another house. I wanted them to be able to read a story with their parent that can also heal their parent as well too. I wanted to break generational curses or generational bondage and challenges that have led to many different issues such as substance abuse problems, mental health issues such as addiction, as well as those who become alcoholic. But then you have those who are just self-sabotaging due to unresolved trauma that they experienced in their childhood. And so this book, I remember it like it was yesterday. It came to me, it was during the pandemic. And at that time, I was really big into really self-reflection and self-development, professional and also personal as well too. And that's when the idea came to me to do Oh Brother, My Brother. And I said, what if I create a story that even my own brothers would enjoy and could relate to? And so when the idea came to me, I immediately hopped on the phone, called my brother, Chris, who is my best friend to this day. Because you know what? He and I lived this experience together. And so I wanted to talk with him to bounce ideas off his head, to really get the approval from him. And so he acted as a confidant, as well as my own personal consultant in his own way. And so, working with him was really good in the beginning because, he's a creative person, a creative force in his own right, and he knows what's good and what's not. And so I trust his taste on that. And so after that, ended up creating an outline for the story, Oh Brother, My Brother. Didn't necessarily know what the characters' names were going to be. Didn't even have a title, to be honest with you. And just like everybody else who experienced life, it happens. And it happened to me. I lost some individuals who were very close to me and my family, like so many other people had experienced during the pandemic. And I got a new job opportunity, and so I had to uproot my family. And so, and I took on a major role that required me to travel a lot. And to be honest with you, Oh Brother, My Brother, the story went dormant. So for 2 years, I had this idea locked inside of me that I was not pushing forward because I was putting a lot of other people's dreams ahead of mine, putting a lot of time and energy on the job, working for a former employer. And so late 2023 came about, and I knew I was going to be going into another transition in life, and I was excited about it. And I told myself, now is the time for me to reach the stratosphere in my own right and do what I wanted to do. Be the Brandon I used to want to be when I was a 9-year-old kid, and do the shadow work. And I knew part of doing the work was being a creative person that I always wanted to be. And so I said, I dedicated my time every morning, started out, 30 minutes, 30 minutes to an hour, and just really built up the momentum. And every day I would wake up sometimes 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning before the girls get up and have to help get them ready for school. And I just dedicated to just writing. And I tell you, by the end of 2024, it's like a month, I finished a great draft of my story. And now I was like, okay, now what do I do? What's next? Okay, I wrote a draft. And so I started doing research. Okay, self-publishing, what do I need to do? How do I do it? Me personally, I just wanted to get the story out. I believe that it would resonate with people, it would connect with people, and it would inspire. And I believe that it would be something that children would probably read to their kids when they get older. But I had to learn about the process of publishing a book. So did a lot of webinars, did a lot of research, reading, and I learned that, I have to do a query letter. I'm like, what's a query letter? So I had to write a query letter, had to research that. Also, I had to hire someone through Fiverr to help me with drafting a query letter. And so I did that, and I said, okay, now what? I want to pitch this to major publications, but I knew that in order for me to do that, I need to get an agent. So with the query letter, I submitted to over 100 agents across the country. And I heard no, 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 no. I heard remixes to the word no. And you know what? I didn't get discouraged because I knew all it took was just for one person, one agent or somebody to say yes. And so after hearing all the no's and getting some decent feedback as well too, I said, now let me go the independent publishing route. Because I really wanted to have a partnership with someone who's going to help get the word out and help distribute this all over the globe. Because I'm only one person, and I can self-publish it and just put it online, but I wanted a network, and also I wanted to learn as well too, because I always had aspirations of publishing my own work and the work of others. And so submitted to some independent publishers, and the fall of 2024, that's when Home Press reached out to me and they told me that they liked the idea, and they're interested in knowing what's my marketing strategy, because they told me that the game has changed. Authors have to be marketers as well too. You have to have a vision on how to sell your product. And me knowing that this book is so unique, and the good thing is I already had a marketing strategy. So I sent it to them. They liked the strategy and my entrepreneurial spirit and also my experience. So then they wanted me to get the work edited by a professional editor. So then I hired a professional editor at the end of 2024, got it completed, published ready. Then I resubmitted it to Home Press, and they had some internal meetings. They loved it. They loved what my vision was. They loved the rewrites as well too. And we negotiated a deal, and they agreed to also feature my imprint, GOSH, which stands for Getting Our Stories Heard, a vision of mine that I came up with a long time ago when I was in LA to create GOSH, a production and publishing firm that highlights work of those from marginalized communities, my own work, also my children's work as well too. And then from there, now I was like, okay, now what? Now we have to collaborate and find an illustrator. So now we have to find an illustrator. So that took well over a month. Now, mind you, my business, 4i Solutions, is thriving at the time as well too. So I'm working with a lot of different clients all across the country. And so balancing this project as well. And I landed on an illustrator Shanzay, who's a talented illustrator and was just a pleasure to work with. She gave me a lot of grace. She was very patient as well too, and very helpful. She did a lot of her own research and understanding really where I come from, the neighborhoods I come from, what it's like to be in urban cities in Middle America. And so she did a great job. I really enjoyed that process. That took about 90 days for us to complete the illustrations in the book, and I'm very, very excited, and cannot wait for you all to see these illustrations. Then I submitted them to the publisher, then the distribution company had to look at them, give notes. Then from there, I had to get some endorsements as well too from some leading authors, also journalists. Very much am grateful for their feedback and their endorsement so that I can include it in the book as well as on the website. So got the cover completed, got it approved, ready to go. And now where we are today, being very strategic, intentional about getting the word out there about Oh Brother, My Brother. And here we are today with the copy in my hand. And I cannot wait to share my story with you out there. So please be looking out for Oh Brother, My Brother. It's going to be in stores everywhere. Barnes & Noble. Also, there's going to be some independent bookstores that have already reached out and said that they're going to be carrying Oh Brother, My Brother. Parts of, like in the Northeast part of the United States. Also, the Midwest have shown a lot of interest in the story as well too. And so it's going to be out February the 1st, 2026. And you'll be able to touch it and feel it then. But you can pre-order your copies well in advance now, where you can then get the story in your hand a month in advance in January. And so go to my website, BrandonDCampbell.com, to learn more about Oh Brother, My Brother. Also, see more of my products, such as my merchandise, Published. And again, I'm so grateful. I'm humble right now. I have Oh Brother, My Brother in my hand, and I cannot wait for it to be in your hands as well, and to get your feedback and your reviews, and also hear from you on how it impacted your life. Thank you. Oh Brother, My Brother, February 1st, 2026. I'm Brandon D. Campbell. Thank you for listening and being connected with love.